One of the coolest things I think of you becoming playing that role was you got to meet Eazy-E's family, correct?
Yes.
Did that happen? Yes, that happened.
Yes, it happened.
How was that?
Interesting.
Yeah?
Very, very interesting, because individually, everybody is cool. Everybody wants me to win. Everybody loves Eazy. Like, that was the easy part, right? But mind you, I'm so excited about what I'm doing that I'm just like reaching out to people on Facebook. I'm like trying to find every person that I can. Not really thinking about the fact that he got 9 children and 7 baby mamas.
Oh boy.
And they don't necessarily all get along with each other. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to get them all in one room. They're like, Jason, you trying to start some shit. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like all this, like, oh, like, Lord, what did I do? What did I do? What did I sign up for? You know what I mean? But I think all in all, like, everybody spoke good into my life. Everybody was there. Everybody made set visits. You know what I mean? Everybody showed up to the premiere. Everybody kept it real professional. But I think it just caught everybody off guard that I was like, listen, we doing this as a family. Like, let's put all our differences aside.
That's crazy.
Like, we doing this as a family. You know what I mean? So it was,
I'm sure
it was a wild ride, man. It was a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun.
Did anybody like put the, apply the pressure, like kind of like, you better get this role right? Like
I'd have to say the atmosphere itself was like that, right? And the only thing that eased that a little bit was the fact that Eazy ain't here no more, right? But you got Dr. Dre who showed up every day. You got Ice Cube who showed up every day. Matter of fact, before Cube even started showing up, because he was finishing up, I want to say Ride Along with Kevin Hart, or Ride Along 2. They were finishing up that movie, and Cube had a PA with an iPad strapped to their chest, walking around set. It was like Cube head just floating around set, like while he wasn't there. Like he wanted to be there for everything, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so the pressure was definitely there. And it was
that'll apply some pressure for sure.
Yeah, like we had to convince NWA that we was NWA with no costume. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like being from New Orleans, like you know how hard it is to change your voice and then learn the songs, only to learn how to mess up the songs on purpose. Like it was such a
that's crazy.
It was just thinking back to them days, like how did we get through that? It was like basic training. For real, you know, like you working out one half of the day, the other half of the day you just performance. Like it was wild.
And so while studying him and stuff, what was the most interesting thing you found out about Eazy-E? Getting to know his family and everything, like did you discover anything that stood out to you? That
he masterminded every single thing that they did. I thought that was super interesting, you know, because for one, he had zero fear. You know, like he was the first person out here. Like I ain't saying calling women bitches and all of that is like a great thing, but like he had zero fear. You know what I mean? And to know that he had a plan behind all of that the entire time was crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like at one point in time, like when they invited him to come to the White House, all they knew was Eric Lynn Wright donated X amount of dollars to the state of California. He should be a Republican. So they invited him and Jerry Heller to the presidential luncheon. You know what I mean? And they really went to the White House. Like, can you imagine?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like you masterminded that. Like to me, that's absolutely incredible. Like they went viral when viral was passing records from hand to hand, word of mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is impressive.
Yeah, he was an incredible person. And to know that, like, I mean, he drank, but he really didn't. He wasn't an overindulger. You know, he didn't smoke. He didn't do no drugs. Like none of that. He was just a mastermind. You know, and he was also somebody who, although you know he talked about this gangster life, never really. I don't think he ever really wanted it. You know, he had a cousin that was killed, and it made him, I guess, like the biggest drug dealer in his neighborhood after his cousin was killed. And him and the guy Layla from Above the Law, you know, who is actually portrayed in the film a little bit. He was starting to get his stuff from Layla, right? Who's a Blood, and he was a Crip. So they used to go to the studio to have somewhere safe because he used to be scared for his life all the time. He wanted to give the life up so bad, and Dr. Dre wanted Layla to invest in him first. And that was the time that they was with the World Class Wrecking Crew. So they got these shiny jackets and they up there pop locking and all that. And they were like, that ain't gangsta enough for us, you know. But Eazy-E believed in him, you know what I mean? And he that's how they took off, you know. So it's just interesting to see how like trying to run in a different direction and trying to make new friends and all of that can sprout into something so beautiful.
Yeah,
like
that
new
is.
dudes change the world.
Amazing. I think that would probably be the most coolest thing that you found out about him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.